Why do humans cook? Every other animal eats food raw, but every human culture, everywhere on Earth cooks. Cooking isn't just about taste, it's about survival. Over hundreds of thousands of years, our bodies changed to depend on cooked food. About 2 million years ago, our ancestors ate mostly raw plants, roots, leaves, insects, and occasional meat. Raw food is tough to chew and hard to digest. Chimps spend almost half their day just eating. Heat completely changes our food. When food is cooked, heat breaks down starches, proteins, and the tough walls of plant cells. It also destroys many harmful germs and natural toxins, making food much safer to eat. You can think of cooking as pre-digestion. In other words, the food is partially broken down before it even enters your body. On the left is raw food. It's harder to chew, harder to digest, and your body gets less usable energy from it. But after cooking, the same food becomes soft, much easier to chew, easier to digest, and provides more usable calories. Cooking didn't just make food easier to eat, it also gave our ancestors something incredibly valuable: time. Because cooked food is softer and easier to digest, they spent far less time chewing and processing their meals. Before cooking, early humans may have spent nearly half of their day just eating and chewing. But after they learned to cook, that time dropped to around 1 hour a day. This simple discovery may have saved them 4 to 5 hours every single day, giving them more time and energy to do much more than just survive. So, what happened with all those extra hours? Early humans used that time to improve their lives. They became better hunters, created stronger tools, explored new places, and cared more for their families. They could also plan for the future, instead of worrying only about their next meal, and fire offered something else that was just as important. It provided warmth during cold nights and protected them from dangerous predators. Cooking didn't just feed people, it helped build a better way of life. Bodies. Over time, cooking didn't just change our lifestyle, it changed our bodies too. Around 1.8 million years ago, a new human ancestor called Homo erectus appeared. Compared to earlier ancestors, Homo erectus had a much larger brain, smaller jaws and teeth, and a shorter digestive system. As food became easier to digest, our bodies no longer needed such large jaws or long intestines. Instead, more energy could be used to support a growing brain. A large digestive system requires a huge amount of energy to keep working. But cooked food is much easier to digest. That meant our ancestors no longer needed such a large gut. The energy that was once used for digestion could now be redirected to another organ, the brain. And since the human brain uses an enormous amount of energy every day, this extra fuel may have helped it grow larger and more powerful over time. Is there any evidence that this really happened? Yes. Scientists have found signs that humans were using fire at least 1 million years ago in Africa. The earliest direct evidence of cooking comes from cooked fish discovered in Israel, dating back around 780,000 years. And by about 400,000 years ago, cooking had become a common part of human life. These discoveries show that cooking has been shaping our species for hundreds of thousands of years. Could modern humans survive on a completely raw food diet? For most people, the answer is probably no. Studies have shown that people who eat only raw food often struggle to maintain a healthy body weight. Some women on strict raw food diets have even experienced changes in their menstrual cycles because of low energy intake. Our bodies have adapted to cooked food over thousands of generations. Today, cooking isn't just a habit, it's a normal part of how our bodies function. Cooking changed more than our bodies. It changed our relationships too. Instead of eating alone, people began gathering around the fire to prepare and share meals. These shared moments helped families and communities grow stronger. Around the fire, stories were told, knowledge was passed to younger generations, and teamwork became more important. Many researchers believe cooking may even have helped shape cooperation, family bonds, and the way human societies developed. Humans are unique in one very important way. We're the only species that truly depends on cooking and technology to survive. Cooking helped shape our bodies, powered our brains, strengthened our communities, and transformed our future. It wasn't just about making food taste better. It may have been one of the biggest reasons humans became the dominant species on Earth. Think about the last meal you ate. Maybe it was a bowl of rice, homemade chicken, or fresh vegetables. Whatever it was, there's a very good chance it was cooked. Cooking has become such a normal part of our lives that we rarely stop to think about it. But this everyday habit may have changed the entire course of human history. Here's something amazing. Lions eat raw meat. Gorillas eat raw leaves and fruit. Birds swallow insects without cooking them. But humans are different. As far as we know, humans are the only species that regularly cooks food using fire. This simple ability makes us unique among all living animals. Most people think we cook food because it tastes better, and that's true. But taste isn't the biggest reason. Cooking helps our bodies get more energy from food. Instead of spending too much energy digesting raw food, our bodies can use that energy for movement, growth, and even thinking. Heat does much more than make food delicious. It softens starches. It changes proteins, making them easier to digest. It breaks down tough plant cell walls. And most importantly, it kills harmful bacteria and reduces many natural toxins. In other words, cooking makes food safer and easier for our bodies to use. You can think of cooking as digestion that starts before you even take the first bite. Raw food is harder for your stomach to break down. Cooked food is already softened. That means your digestive system works less, and your body gets more usable energy from every meal. That extra energy changed everything. Early humans no longer had to spend all day chewing and digesting food. They had more time to hunt, explore, build tools, and care for their families. Over thousands of years, this extra energy may have helped support larger brains and a more advanced way of life. Anthropologist Richard Wrangham proposed a fascinating idea. For a long time, people believed humans developed big brains first and then started cooking. Wrangham suggested the opposite. He believes that learning to cook came first. The extra energy from cooked food may have made it possible for our brains to grow larger over time. It's a bold theory that has changed how many scientists think about human evolution. Our brain is surprisingly expensive to run. Even though it makes up only about 2% of our body weight, it uses around 20% of the energy we consume every day. Without energy-rich food, supporting such a powerful brain would be much harder. Cooking helped make that energy easier to obtain. Fire didn't just cook food, it brought people together. Families gathered around the fire to share meals. They told stories. They taught children. They planned hunts. They passed knowledge from one generation to the next. So the next time you cook a meal, remember that you're taking part in a tradition that began hundreds of thousands of years ago. Cooking reshaped our bodies. It powered our brains. It helped build families, communities, and civilizations. A simple flame didn't just change our food, it helped make us who we are today. And that's why cooking may be one of the most important inventions in human history.